What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Stupid, delusional Eagles fans stand down. Real Cowboys fans stand up. You're now tuned into the Cowboys fans only channel. So if you're new to the channel, do me a huge favor, comment, like, subscribe somewhere down there, somewhere down there, somewhere down there. And be sure to turn that notification bell to stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content. Also follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. And also go to cowboysfansonly.com to get your official CFO merch. So, hot topic today. Everyone's been talking about Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard versus Ezekiel Elliott. And it's this weird thing going on with Cowboys Nation. It's like we can't have good things, right? We can't never have death. We can't never have multiple, right? Plural. We always can only just have one thing. It's like when your mom, when you was a kid, used to go shopping, your mom say, "No, you only get one thing." Right? Put it back. You only can get one thing, right? That's how Cowboys fans start to think. And I don't know where that's come from, but you see across social media where we can only have one. So it always has to be a versus one or the either, right? And I know when it comes to Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, this has been a conversation that we've had for quite some time. And I want to say this, when it comes to Ezekiel Elliott, a lot of people want to look at the contract. And granted, that is a part of NFL football. But it ain't coming out your pocket, man. So quit taking it so dang personal. A lot of teams around the NFL, if you look across the NFL, have a running back tandem. And it's perfectly fine if the Dallas Cowboys want to have a tandem as well. And with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, I feel like we have a damn good tandem. And it's going to be one of the best in the NFL. So let's take a quick dive and talk about why. So if you look here at the film, one of my personal favorites and one of the things I've been asking for if you followed me for a long time is seeing Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard on the field at the same time, because you can use Tony Pollard as a wide receiver, but also a running back. You can't stamp a position on him, right? He's more of a weapon. So here in the end zone, we see versus the Chargers, we had Tony Pollard flexed out as a wide receiver. We also had Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard goes in motion, sweep, touchdown, right? Because when it comes to having weaponry, what the Dallas Cowboys do, you gotta respect it from all caliber, right? You gotta respect our tight ends, you gotta respect our running backs, you gotta respect our wide receivers. And so for a defensive standpoint, when we get into game planning, it keeps you off balance, keeps you off kilter. So kudos to Kellen Moore. Great call of having Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard on the field at the same time in the red zone, because that's what we're looking for, y'all. We're looking for more red zone touchdowns, not field goals. Go to the next play. Another play, Tony Pollard just lined up in the backfield, and what I want to show when it comes to Tony Pollard is his explosiveness. We all know his explosiveness. Look how he gets to the hole. It's like it was a two tight end set. If you look closely, my guy Dalton Schultz, he whiffed on the block, right? Schultz, he whiffed on the block, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold it against you, but you kind of whiffed right there. Whoop. But I ain't gonna hold it against you, Schultz, because you're gonna make up for it later. And I feel like Schultz and Jarwin had a much better game than they did versus the Bucks. But he whiffed on that block. But Tony Pollard, as you see, once he's able to hit the hole, he's one of the most dynamic players in the NFL because he can definitely explode. And I love Tony Pollard's explosion. It's something that he's always had. So, when it comes to the conversation of Tony Pollard, and I said this last week, it's not about runs. It's about touches, getting the ball in his hands, getting him in space. Another play shows that, him lined up in the backfield, going out in the flat. Simple. Easy money. That's easy money right there. Right there. Dak Prescott just hitting Tony Pollard out there in the quick flat and letting Tony Pollard be an athlete and make the play. And so those are the things that you got to look for when it comes to how you're going to utilize Tony Pollard. Now, I'll say this when it comes to Tony Pollard. My biggest frustration with Tony Pollard, y'all, is every year when it comes to fantasy football, I think, I'm going to get Tony Pollard. I'm going to get Tony Pollard. I'm going to get Tony Pollard. And every time I'm like, all right, I'm going to draft him this round. It never happens, and someone ends up swiping him. So I didn't get Tony Pollard in all my 9 or 10 fantasy drafts, man. But I feel like if you got Tony Pollard this year, and I dropped a video, I'm going to post that in the link. Weapon X. I feel like Tony Pollard is our Weapon X, and Kellen Moore is going to use him a lot more. And so for you Tony Pollard fantasy owners, you should be smiling from ear to ear because you're going to see a lot more Tony Pollard in his offense, I do believe. Now the next play, I call this Mr. Nasty time, right? So this is when Kellen Moore wanted to get cute. So once again, we got Ezekiel Elliott lined up in the backfield. You got Tony Pollard lined up in the slot. And you have Tyron Smith lined out wide. So this is when Kellen Moore was trying to get cute the first time, right? So the first time it caught everybody by surprise, caught them off guard. So what they decided to run is a quick screen to Tony Pollard. Once again, touch, get him in space, and let him move the chain, right? And so great call by Kellen Moore. Now, my concern and my frustration with Kellen Moore is when I gave him his flowers, he went back to this formation a little too soon. But I like to see the innovation when it comes to Kellen Moore and play calling. I know somebody was like, oh, Kellen Moore is just Jason Garrett 2.0. You wouldn't see none of this with Jason Garrett. You wouldn't see none of this with Scott Linehan. So I felt like Kellen Moore did call a great game. And this is one of those play designs that they pick up the easy yards and easier first downs. And look at Tyron Smith out there, man. That's safety and what? No problems with Tyron Smith out there, bro, I tell you. Let's get into the next play here. Another play is just Tony Pollard lined up, throwing his explosiveness, getting through the hole, right? Here we go. Tony Pollard, boom, boom, hole, gone. And like if it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, if he had a slight better angle and those safeties did not get over there and run those pursuit angles properly, Tony Pollard would have probably took that to the house. And so that's the thing that a lot of Cowboys fans fall in love when it comes to Tony Pollard is he has that big playability. And I know in 2016, we saw that from Ezekiel Elliott. We just haven't seen that much from Zeke moving forward. But Tony Pollard gives us that big play opportunity, which a lot of people like. And that's kind of like the flashy toy, right? Now, I was asked this the other day. It was like, Tuck, what do we do with Zeke? What do we do with Zeke? If Tony Pollard's playing like this, we cannot take the ball out of his hand. And, you know, to an extent, I agree. Like, I feel like, but you still have to take into consideration what Zeke brings to the table. Like, it's really a thunder and lightning situation, which is really great to have as a Dallas Cowboy fan. I mean, the things that Zeke can do, Tony Pollard can do. Like, when it's go time and it's time to get that dirty yard, those extra 2 yards and move the chains and keep things alive, that's when you go to number 21. And so I feel like when it comes to the Cowboys' usage between Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, it can be thunder and lightning. Like, you can use them both. And I think this is the play. Look at, yeah, there you go. There you go, Schultz. He got it back, man. Look at Schultz on that cut block. There you go. There you go, Schultz. There you go. There you go. Get your redemption back. But I feel like when it comes to Zeke and Pollard, you can use them both, y'all. It doesn't have to be one or the other, man. So we have to stop putting Cowboys players against each other. Like, we can't have them both. Another play of Ezekiel Elliott is getting those extra dirty yards, the 4 to 5 a pop, 4 to 5 a pop. And I say this, I know the conversations about running the ball versus the Tampa Bay Bucks last Thursday or 2 Thursdays ago, right? I felt like even in that game, Zeke was getting those dirty yards, right? And so if you add Zach Martin back, and then once we get Lyle, even though Terrence Steele did play well, you know, I feel like you can continue to move the chains with Zeke. So you're going to need both of these running backs. It's a 17-game season, and Mike McCarthy had said this. You don't want to wear down the tread on Zeke so early in the season, so you might see a lot of Tony Pollard earlier in the season, and then the late end when you start to play in December and January, that's when things might rep up for Zeke. But you're going to need both of these players throughout the season. And I was also asked another question on Twitter. You're like, Tuck, do you really see a difference in the offseason training in Ezekiel Elliott thus far? And personally, I do. And I think this play is it right now. I think that Zeke is a lot more agile when it comes to hitting his running lane. Like, he's just more patient. He's more agile. He looks more shiftier. And so we didn't really see that last year with Zeke. He looked kind of sluggish, right? But another play showing that was this play here in the end zone. I think he scored on this play right here. Just the patience, the agility, the cuts. It's smoother. It's much smoother than what we saw last year. And look at Terrence Steele and also Zach Martin, big boys moving. Them big boys is moving in the trenches. Zeke finds the hole, cut, sharps, touchdown, right? And I know the conversation, like I said, comes down to Ezekiel Elliott and his explosiveness. I see it there. This play was a testament to that. He was one tackle away from really breaking this one right here. He was almost there. If he would have got that foot loose, he might have been off to the races. And so I think that Zeke, you're seeing a leap forward from what we saw last year in Ezekiel Elliott, but also Tony Pollard, man. So Cowboys Nation, stop trying to put players versus player and which one can we keep and which one should we go and we can do this for a whole lot cheaper, man. Cut it out. count your blessings, be happy that you got 2 dynamic running backs, and the key is really going to fall on Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy, how to use them both, man. But I'm continuing to ride this train because they open up so much. And when we play Philly on Monday night, we need to continue this trend and run the ball down them Eagles fans' throat, man, because I can't stand them. And they've been chirping on Twitter. It is what it is, man. It's your boy, Jay Tuck. I just want to chime in real quick and talk to y'all. Like I said, give the video a like, man. Get them likes up. Get those shares up. If you're new, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at JTuck151 and go to CowboysFansOnly.com. Use the code CFO gang to get your 10% off, man. It's your boy, Jay Tuck. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys.